recently, the people of Switzerland rejected overwhelmingly a gun control proposal which had been promoted by supporters of gun control in that country. They rejected a proposal which would have restricted the right of law-abiding citizens to keep military firearms in their domicile. They rejected, along with that, a proposal that would require a national firearms registry of guns by the people in Switzerland. This is a tremendous development. It is tremendous because the powers that be, the gun-grabbing establishment, were hell-bent to have Switzerland deny its ancient heritage of gun rights in that country. It reflects a situation similar to that in the United States, in which gun grabbers have been wallowing in the acts of a crazed madman in Tucson, Arizona, resulting in the murder of a number of people and the wounding of an American congresswoman as an excuse to try to promote further restrictions on firearms and ammunition by all law-abiding people in the United States. The gun grabbers are no good. They use the actions of a man who was no good to try to promote restrictions on people who are good. Luckily, in the United States, the polls are showing that the people generally are not buying this approach to public policy. The polls are showing that people more and more are rejecting attempts to enact restrictions on firearms ownership in the United States. At the same time, polls are showing that the public generally is more and more supportive of the Second Amendment rights of law-abiding American citizens. After all, in the United States, 100 million adults own about 200 million rifles, shotguns, and handguns, making the American citizenry more well-armed individually than are the armies of the United States, Russia, and China combined. This fact shows tremendous respect for the belief that the right of the individual is superior in a philosophic sense to the power of the state. Let's underline that. The individual is superior to the state. In other countries, though, such as Germany and the United Kingdom, gun grabbers there, too, are trying to use the misuse of firearms as an excuse to undermine the rights of people who use firearms in an admirable way. The United Nations even is, through its minions, trying to promote an international arms treaty which would enable some kind of an international body to set the standards for domestic firearms production, acquisition, and use. In other words, the gun grabbers are trying to use the United Nations as an attempt to do an end run around the rights of law-abiding American citizens and, in fact, around the rights of citizens of all countries. Now, unfortunately, the nutcakes in the Vatican, of all places, have prevailed upon the powers that be in the Vatican to support this idiotic treaty, which denies the rights of individuals to be able to defend themselves, even though the Catholic Church supports the right to life of all individuals. It's time to clean up the Vatican and to clean out the gun-grabbing bureaucrats there. After all, these people really are stupid. They seem to not realize the fact that the United Nations uses whatever tactic it can to undermine the true spiritual interests of the Catholic Church throughout the United States. Here then you have these nutcakes in the Vatican working to support a policy of the United Nations, even though the United Nations works to undermine the genuine interests of the Catholic Church. What all of this is showing, though, is that the people realize that the right to keep and acquire and own a gun is tantamount in many cases to their ability to preserve their life and the lives of their loved ones and their property. People realize this. The gun grabbers for decades in the United States and in other countries have been trying to undermine the rights of individuals. Now, those of us who support the right to keep and bear arms and the rights of individuals and the belief in the worth of the individual and the right of the individual to defend his life or her life and the lives of their loved ones is superior to the prerogative, the power of the state, have been really nice and civil in dealing with these people. In my opinion, we've been too damn nice. These people are out to undermine the interests, the real interests of people in the United States and throughout the world. It is time to counterattack, to go after the gun grabbers, to put the gun grabbers in the United States and throughout the world on the defensive. Now, this can be done in economic terms, and in political terms, and in psychological terms, and in legislative terms, and in spiritual terms. We can outline a program to be issued in the United States and throughout the world on dealing with these people who are out to undermine the rights of law-abiding citizens in the United States and throughout the world. It's time to go after the gun grabbers. It is time to attack the gun grabbers, to hit them where they hurt, to go get them.